Marina's doing it again. This time it's Said Benrahma. Another link to Chelsea with formal talks beginning. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Kavkas, and today's video is one that I'm very excited about. Whether you've been living under a rock, you know that Kai Havertz has been linked with Chelsea very strongly for the past few weeks. But today there have been alternative reports. Today there have been reports that have almost made me come back down to earth and said, you know what? It might not be the German wonder kid, but it could potentially be Said Benrahma. So this inspired this video. Stats you need to know, alternatives to Kai Havertz. I'm going to cover all the stats you need to know for the following three players. Number one, Jadon Sancho. We've been linked with him for the past year. These are proper links. Good journalists have reported it. Number two, Said Benrahma. Confirmed talks. Chelsea have made formal approaches, and I'll give you all the information you need to know from today. And finally, do we even need to sign someone? We already have Hakim Ziyech. How does he compare against the three alternatives? So stay tuned. We'll get all the statistics you need to know, and you will love this video. I guarantee it. Before we continue to the rest of the video with the statistics and the transfer news, I need you guys to answer one question. Who's been your favorite winger this club has signed in recent history? For me, Eden Hazard. I wouldn't be against Iron Robben, Willian. Alright, we'll stop right there. All jokes aside, make sure you leave it in the comment, your favorite winger that the club has signed. And make sure, let's get this video to 100 likes. Can we do that? We've done it in the last video. Let's do it with this one again, and then maybe we might boost the target up. But yeah, subscribe to the channel, and let's get on with the news. Look, the news has been popping left, right, and centre. Kai Havertz looks like he's going to become a Chelsea player if Chelsea want to make it happen. But Chelsea have got a plan B. One thing we know about Marina is she always has a plan B. And in this case, the plan B is simple. Said Benrahma is a strong alternative. We have actively made a move. The Express and the Daily Mail are reporting that formal talks have been held. The alleged reports are telling us that he's going to be worth 31 million. As an alternative to Kai Havertz, I think that's a very reasonable price. But for me, 31 million for a championship player, that's very risky. It's one of those things where 10 years ago would be viewed as ridiculous. But at this moment in time, in this current economic climate, is it wise to throw 31 million pounds in a COVID market on a championship player? I'm going to leave that for you to decide. But now, let's get on with the statistics. Let's get into the goals and assists, the ones that everyone loves. Jadon Sancho is moving like a generational talent. 17 goals and 16 assists is a phenomenal return. Messi and Suarez, Neymar, Hazard-esque. Maybe not Hazard. Man don't score that much. He just feeds the family. But Said Benrahma, 10 goals, 7 assists. Very good return. I know it's the championship, but for me, I think it's hard being a winger in the championship. It's a more physical league. It's somewhere where creativity isn't embraced. It's destroyed. You will get hacked. And Hakim Ziyech, a very good return with 6 goals and 12 assists. Decent start for all three players. I can't look down on it at all. Goals and assists are great. Yet, for me, it's the performances that matter. So when you look at the man of the matches, those awards for me are very important. 4 for Hakim Ziyech, 7 apiece for Sancho and Benrahma. It means those games, they were the alpha male. They were the ones that stood out from a pitch of 22 players. They were the ones that carried the team to a performance where it was memorable. It was something that the fans went home and said, you know what? He was our man of the match. And those are important. I think your wingers need to be those players. At Chelsea last season, we didn't have it. Cho, Pulisic, Willian and Pedro never had those performances. The only one I can remember off the top of my head is Pulisic with a hat-trick and Willian against Spurs. What a performance that was. Wingers are like a cup of tea. Alright, some people like it with milk, some people like it plain black. But in reality, it's the exact same way with shots. Some people like their wingers being creative. Some people like their wingers being absolute shooters. Shoot on sight, alright? So when you look at Sancho, 1.8 shots per game, you can tell what kind of player he is straight away. But you look at Benrahma and Ziyech, they're shooters. They literally, any sight on goal, they're shooting. Benrahma, 3.7. Hakim Ziyech, 4.2. 4.2 is ridiculously high. It's something that is very exciting if you're a Chelsea fan. You know there's going to be very good wonder goals coming out. Then you look at the dribbles. 2.6 for Ziyech, 3.1 and 2.6 for Sancho, 3.1 for Benrahma. They're all good and comfortable on the ball. It's going to be exciting time, definitely. Growing up in an era where Eden Hazard is Chelsea's winger, we get spoiled. All jokes aside, we win fouls and we did not many loose touches. So when you think about it, you go, okay, I want all my wingers to be like that. It's hard though, because you look at Benrahma, for example, 2.5 displaced touches, and more importantly, 1.2 fouls won. It's not prolific, it's not great, but he's one of those players that wants to try something. I think they'll be similar to Neymar's numbers. Yet, when you look at Jadon Sancho, 1.1 for dispossessed and 0.6 for fouls won, he's exactly the same. Good control, but doesn't win enough fouls. Hakim Ziyech is a consistent 1.2 and a 1.1 in those categories. For me personally, none of them is elite at this category, but they can work on it and they can improve. The way Frank Lampard wants his wingers to play, he wants them to feed the family. Listen, he wants them to be creative, cross a lot, and more importantly, generous. He wants a team style of play. So it's integral that these players, when they're in the final third, they're productive. So if we look at the key passes, 3.7 for Hakim Ziyech. And then you look at the 2.2 for Benrahma, 2.3 for Sancho. Very productive for me. I think that is integral. In one game, that is a lot of key passes. That's Eden Hazard level, if anything. Hazard's close to the 4s, if I'm not mistaken. And then you look at the crosses. Hakim Ziyech, 2.3 crosses. Benrahma and Sancho, under 1. For me, it's because they play on the opposite side of the strong foot. For example, Benrahma's on the left-hand side with his right foot. Sancho is on his right-hand side with his left foot. So it gets in the way of crossing in. Ziyech, very versatile, crossing inshallah. If you analyze these players, I think this stat makes them stand apart more than anything. Hakim Ziyech and Sancho average almost 50 passes a game. It's because they like to be involved. They like to push it to the side and move on, keep it stepping. And you can almost tell by their statistics of their successes. So Ziyech, 77% is because he does a lot of audacious passes. Sancho plays it safe a lot, especially sideways, and then he picks his right moments of getting involved. That's why it's nearly 86% of successful passes. But Benrahma, it's 37 passes, and you know why? It's because he takes his man on a lot. He likes to dribble, he likes to attack, and a lot of flair. 77% pass success rate is because in the final third, he loves to play those 1-2s. He likes to receive it on the half turn. He is a very exciting player. It's something that I would love to see at Chelsea. Those were the stats. Now it's time for my opinion on which one of these players is the right person to be the alternative to Kai Havertz. We've already got Hakim Ziyech. Do we need an alternative if we don't get Kai Havertz? Personally, I don't think so. Pulisic, Hudson-Odoi, and Ziyech is more than enough for the wings. At the same time, you have the right man in Timo Werner, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and Mason Mount, who can additionally add to those positions if need be. So why do we need to go and invest more money into somewhere else when we need a left back and a centre back? Definitely. So for me personally, if there's no Kai Havertz, no deal. If Sancho is available and we are willing to pay that money, go get him. But then I question the club's philosophy on why you would want to purchase Ziyech and Sancho in one window and Timo Werner, who is versatile. It would be very mind-boggling. So personally, I think a Sancho deal is a no-go. And maybe next season, if one of Christian Pulisic or Hudson-Odoi doesn't achieve their potential in a year's time and the club choose to move on from them, Sancho could be a potential alternative. When it comes to Said Benrahma, I think he needs to stay away from Chelsea as much as he can. Look, he's going to come in and be a bench impact sub player. The likelihood is he's not going to get game time. At his stage in his career, he needs to play. And his next move needs to be a big one where he will flourish. Go to Tottenham, go to Arsenal, Everton. Go somewhere you're going to play. You're not going to play at Chelsea. In all likelihood, he's going to be fourth choice. Fourth choice, and that's not including Timo Werner. Is he a good, young, talented player? 100%. He is phenomenal. But is he Chelsea caliber at this moment in time? No. Do we need another project? No. We need to start winning trophies and we need to add real quality to this team. We don't need to wait. For me, that 31 million could be better spent on Tagliafico for left back or a top class centre half with additional money on top. But that's my opinion. So if you made it this far in the video, now you give me your opinion. Tell me, what do you think of these statistics? Do you think any of the numbers were particularly low? And additionally, give me ideas on what other players you'd love for me to compare. And hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, support the Kavkas view. It goes a long way. I really appreciate all of you watching. En route to 10k subscribers. Let's do it. Let's go. Peace out.